What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Between the Circles, presented by Nuke the House. I'm your host, JC Zargo, here to break down today's NHL slate. Been on a nice little heater of late. Tuesday, I gave out 4 or 5 winners. You're welcome. And just kind of been running it since then. For those of you new to the program, we are presented by Nuke the House, so everything I do is through them. So I do these shows every Tuesday, some Thursdays, and if you want my picks every day, you got to be following Nuke the House. So check them out on Twitter at Nuke the House. Then you can check out their website, check out the sheet. Everything is completely free. There's a Discord, and then all our picks. So not just mine, but Keg, Spread, Tyler, all the other guys posting them. Just be following. Check out the website. Check out the sheet daily for our picks. Things are kind of heating up here in the NHL season. Don't want you to miss out. Great night Tuesday, as I said yesterday. Yesterday was interesting. I had a loss and a push on the official picks, but if you were in the Discord, I gave out 2 of the 3 winners last night. Seattle was a very nice winner for us. So that's kind of the benefit of being a part of the Discord, checking out, because I drop stuff live, so I had like first period Seattle on the sheet that pushed, but after watching that, I'm like, Seattle's going to win this game. They're controlling things well. They're not letting Kings break out too much. It was their defense looked really sharp, and I'm like, they're going to keep this game low, and if they can just get a couple nice shots on nets, they'll win. And that's exactly what happened. So be all that to say, be following. That's enough plugging, though. Let's get into today's slate. First game up, Carolina Hurricanes visiting the Pittsburgh Penguins. Not sure I have a play here, but definitely a game worth talking about. For those of you that don't know, I swore off Pittsburgh after, a week ago. Basically, they had that players meeting. They're supposed to come out, smash, and then it was just terrible. Hold on, let me pull up their schedule. It was Montreal, Florida. Yeah, it was against Florida. So they had the players meeting after the loss in Tampa. I'm like, oh, these boys, because it's such a talented team, right? So they've been a real phenomenon this season in such a talented roster, but such poor performance. So I went all in on them at Florida. They lost 1-3. Naturally, they followed that up with 2 wins, wrecked by Toronto. And again, another Discord play, not something I put on the sheet, but I was like, hey, I got a good feeling tonight about the Penguins against the Wild, especially with Rickard Rakell back in the lineup. Sure enough, they squeaked out a win. They tried to give it away, but they held on for that victory. So not officially, it will still be a little while before Pittsburgh makes their way onto the sheet, but, they're a team to consider, especially going up against the Carolina team that has lost 2 of their last 3 and some embarrassing L's to Washington and Nashville. They are coming off a slaughtering of Vegas, which is a very impressive win, but now they have to travel to Pittsburgh. So, like I said, normally this would be an easily Carolina spot, but just given everything I've said, that kind of the recent trends for both teams, Rakell back in the lineup, I don't know what this game looks like. It's also worth noting, though, that the Hurricanes have beaten the Penguins in 8 of their last 9 meetings, which is a staggering statistic. Yes, Carolina's been really good recently, but still, I mean, these matchups date all the way back to 2020. And, Penguins, they haven't been a slouch. So really kind of an odd stat, but another reason kind of stay away from Pittsburgh. But again, I'm not confident enough to pull the trigger on Carolina. One bet I do like is over 6.5 goals, minus 108. I don't know if it's moved. That was from last night. Pull up the odds. Yeah, pretty much. FanDuel, you can catch it at minus 106, minus 110 everywhere else. So I think either way this game goes, it correlates to an over. So either Pittsburgh, they're going to actually play well, contend, and have a chance to win this game. And the only way they're going to do that is by scoring quite a few goals. They're not going to get anything close to a shutout to Carolina, or Hurricanes come in, slaughter them 5-2. Either way, I think the over is just a much safer play here than trying to predict who's going to win this game. Again, given how both these teams have been going of late. That is already up on the sheet. So pretty much everything I'm going to talk about here. If you ever miss a show or whatever, you don't have time to watch it. These plays, I do my get up all my talking points the night before. I post my plays on the sheet, and then I come on here, talk them through with y'all. So that's for that game. Again, if any questions too, because I'm only going to cover about half these games, just the games that I think there are good talking points and good plays. If there's a particular game you want me to talk about, just drop it in the comments, and I'd be more than happy to kind of give my thoughts and see if we can't cook something up. Next game on the docket, though, Nashville at Philly. Is Nashville good? Is that what's going on this season? I mean, after just a treacherous season last year, after a horrendous start to the year, they're like really starting to turn things around. It started with just beating some bad teams to improve their record, maybe a cute win here or there, but like now they're running with good teams. They've won 5 of their last 6, beating Philly, beating Carolina, beating Washington 3-1, coming off a loss against Vancouver, but I mean that's a respectable loss. They beat Tampa a couple weeks ago. They're playing really good hockey, and I don't really know what to make of this team. I don't know if they're a contender. I think they're still 4th in their division. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not sure they're a contender. I don't know if this is just a nice run they're on, but they need to be taken seriously. And anytime you want to wager, no matter who they're playing, if you want to wager on a game with Predators, they need to be taken seriously. Today, though, they take on a Philly team they played 9 days ago. That game went into overtime with the Preds taking the win. Now that was in Nashville. Now they're in Philly. Philly, they've won 3 in a row, knocking off Jersey, Detroit, and Washington since that overtime loss to the Preds. So I mean, they're also playing great hockey right now. It's kind of a tough one to handicap, honestly. Just 2 teams, I mean, that aren't great, but are certainly playing great hockey right now. I mean, no shade against Philly. They're 18-10. But they're not by no means a powerhouse. They've got some nasty L's, and it's also for Nashville. It's very hard to beat a team twice in a row like this when you play them in such a short span of time. And the fact that it was in Nashville, went to overtime, I give the edge to Philly. Is really what I'm getting at here. I'm not going to make an official play, but if you want to bet this one, I would go Philly, and I'd also lean probably towards the over. Not great odds. I'm seeing -132 at over 5.5. Does anyone offer anything better? I don't know if anyone has like 6. Okay, yeah, MGM's got over 6 at even money. Not a bad play there. I don't mind that one at all. But again, not a great play just because last time they played, there was only 5 goals. And both teams in their games recently has been such a wide range of totals. So lean Philly, lean the over, but they're much better spots on the board today. Cruising right along. Next up is Vegas at Tampa Bay. Vegas is a team that took a lot of my money at the beginning of the season. They kind of had a slow start, but they're starting to straighten things out. Made some good money on Tuesday taking Tampa on the puck line, if you watch the show. But this will be a much tougher battle than St. Louis. However, the extreme endings that both these teams had in their most recent game kind of turns the odds in our favor. So, like I said, Tampa beat St. Louis 6-1. As we already discussed, Carolina beat Vegas 3-6. So that has put the odds in a place that I don't think would normally be if this game took place 2 weeks ago or 2 weeks from now. Basically, Tampa's a little overvalued after that high-scoring game, And, everyone seems to be a little bit down on Vegas after you know, in their last 2 or 3, right? Losing back to Carolina is one thing, but they also lost to Buffalo. So I think that's turned the market to Tampa, and I don't think that's where it should be. I think Vegas is the play here. Anytime you're catching Vegas as a dog, it's probably a great opportunity. Last night when I posted it, it was at even money, and you can still catch even money at Caesars. Everyone else has got about -105. So great play there. I'm curious who's in net because that will affect my opinion on the total. Vasilevsky is likely, but it's probably not unconfirmed for Vegas. No idea there. So I don't know. Probably an under. Not really. It's probably not going to be Logan Thompson. If it is, definitely the under. But if it's not, then Tampa's got a chance to shoot. So just too inconsistent. Well, no. Let's take the over. Let's take a roll on that. Because both. Vegas had 9 total goals, 7. Okay, no, yeah, it's the over. Vegas has had 7 or more goals, totals in their last 7 games. Tampa, they've had, 7, 6, 11, 5, 7. Yeah, screw it. Take the over. I like that. I might even add that to the sheet. Let me post these plays in the comments for everybody. Vegas money line over 6 in Vegas. Tampa. Sweet. Cool. And then awesome. Keeping it rolling. Couple good plays there. See, that's why we do this. We talk it through. See if I can even come up with more plays than I had originally kind of thought. Okay, Toronto at Buffalo. Whoops. This is the NFL slate I pulled up. Toronto at Buffalo. Buffalo's always, they're always liable to pop off, score more than a few goals. Toronto's not nearly as good as their record would indicate. In their last 5, they split games with the Rangers. They beat down bad Pens. They lost to Columbus. Oh my goodness, excuse me, y'all. They lost to Columbus and they lost to the Islanders. So they're just all over the place right now. They're 16, 7, and 6, but I don't know, man. This Toronto squad just doesn't quite seem to have it together. They're not playing great hockey right now. And given the team that Buffalo is, just a team that loves to play spoiler, they love to win games they shouldn't and lose games they should absolutely win. And this last 5 is kind of a perfect Buffalo's last 5 is a perfect representation of this. They beat Arizona in Buffalo. They lost in Colorado, beat the Golden Knights in Vegas, lost in Arizona, came home, have the snot kicked out of them by Columbus. And now they stay at home to take on the Leafs. So you really never know what you're going to get. But this is one of those plays where you look at the odds, you look at the line, you look at the value, and I like Buffalo here. Catching plus 126 on the money line, I think is a solid play, right? So, if you just at face value, Toronto, right, they're the favorite for a reason. They are the better team. But I think an appropriate line would be closer to a pick 'em just because of how Toronto's been playing. So seeing that much value on the Buffalo side, I like it. So, if you were lucky enough last night, you could have cut Buffalo at 136. They're all the way down to plus 120. So again, that's what pays. Keep up the sheet. Keep up with me through Nuke the House and win some more money. Get a few more dollars on your bets when you come early. That's kind of the thing that makes hockey different than other sports. Like in football, if you like a favorite, you're supposed to bet them early on the week. And if you like a dog, you're supposed to wait, where it's kind of the opposite in hockey. It seems like the dogs typically lose value overnight because people, rush to bet them, especially this season, man. So that's another thing too about why I'll be ramping up the shows the bets, all the content. Really, it just takes some time to get a feel for the season. So, I mean, like, just every season's different. Every season, there's kind of different trends, different things you'll look for, both in teams and the season as a whole. So, this is just the year to bet underdogs. Just look for those spots. Um, there's been so many that it's not worth laying the juice for a favorite. Whereas you look at like football this year, football, the favorites are killing it. No spread is too large. So, like, even there's a handful of teams that doesn't matter if the spread's 10, 15, 21. Like, just they'll cover it. And it kind of seems to be the opposite in hockey this season, where the smart betting is going to come on the dog. So that's the play with Buffalo, right? Like, this game, we don't have to hit as many W's to see a profitable return when you're betting such high value picks. Yeah. So that's it for that game. And we got another intriguing one, Edmonton at Jersey. So both teams need to bounce back in a big way. After the Oilers had that huge winning streak, they've lost 3 in a row, and now they're in Jersey, taking on a Devils team that has lost 2 in a row. This one is a pick'em. Head-to-head, they split their last 10 games. Edmonton winning most recently back on the 10th, 4-1. But again, that was right before their winning streak ended. So they beat Jersey, they beat Chicago, and then they lost home against Tampa, home against Florida, at the Islanders, and now they're at Jersey. So this one just should be a great game. Definitely lean Jersey, especially being at home. They've been much better on the road for whatever reason, but the Oilers are terrible on the road. Jersey kind of needs to turn around their home numbers. They're 6-7-2 at home, but I think they can do that here. So I think that's a great play, or I think it's a solid play. Not good enough for this sheet, but since you were nice enough to join me, you get a few extra plays. So that's all I got on that one. And then Vancouver in Dallas. Kind of similar to the Penguins Hurricanes. Stat you wouldn't expect is that the Canucks have beaten the Stars in 8 straight meetings. As terrible as Vancouver was last year, weren't that great the year before, and as solid as Dallas has been, the Stars have not beaten the Canucks since 2019. Just a staggering statistic for two. I mean, they're well matched this year for sure. They're both playing great hockey, but it's just crazy that the Canucks have owned the Stars for that long. When they played earlier in the year, Canucks beat them 2-0. And now they get to take this little heater they've been on to Dallas to take on a Dallas squad that's won 3 of their last 4. They are playing well at home. I mean, their home road splits are almost identical, so that doesn't really affect Dallas too much. Similarly with Vancouver, they don't play too much worse on the road. So another pick that's kind of similar to Buffalo. Not even, because I think this is just really great value here, catching Vancouver at plus 130. I know they're in Dallas, but still, I think they're a well-matched team, well-balanced team. They play well on the road. They're playing great hockey right now. For whatever reason, they've owned Dallas for years. So catching plus 130 on the Canucks, I think, is awesome value and an easy bet. And that might be my favorite play on the day. Catching plus 130 at FanDuel. Depending on the book, anywhere from 120 to 130. So that's about all I got for this slate. Nothing on the late games really jump out to me. Ottawa at Colorado, I don't really want to touch. I think Ottawa could make things interesting in that one, but I'm not prepared to bet it. No great value in Arizona at San Jose. Calgary at Anaheim, similarly. I mean, Anaheim, maybe. They're playing really well, but still, I think they played Calgary recently, so that's why I didn't particularly care for the Ducks in the spot. No, they haven't. They haven't played yet this season. So in Anaheim, could be a good spot. But again, I've given out several great dogs. I'm not going to reach with the Ducks, but it's a good reason to follow the Discord. Kind of depending on what happens on the day. I might, if all these hit, I might take a little bit of a gamble on a late play like the Ducks or maybe the Canadians in Minnesota. But that's why you got to follow. Dropping live picks, stuff late in the day. And kind of a inactive chat day, so no questions to answer. But should you come up with any, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. Been trying to do better about being in the Discord to answer questions quickly, because I know a lot of times people are trying to do stuff right up before lock, and I sometimes won't see something for like an hour. So if you want an instant response, absolutely hit me up on Twitter. It's not proud of it, but I stay on Twitter. I'm always on Twitter, so I will see it, and I will probably respond before you can even refresh the page. So always happy to answer that. Really excited about where we're on the season. Thank you for those of you that kind of hung with me. It's kind of been a little, basically been a 500 track to this point in the season, but definitely ready to turn things around. Kind of gotten to the point too. I've been watching more hockey, so that also really helps too. I've just been really busy the early part of the season. I wasn't watching anyone outside the teams I like, but now I got the time watching, trying to get a read on every team in the league to make and that makes this so much easier. I'm able to give you guys more intelligent picks, more picks, because I'm not going to put a pick when two teams are playing that I haven't seen play this season. So a lot goes into this. Happy to do it for y'all. I love making money, but I get just as much joy seeing y'all win money. That's the honest truth. So thank you so much for joining me. Will I be on next Tuesday? Monday's Christmas. So yeah, I think I know there are no games on Christmas, but I think there's a full slate next Tuesday. No, they're off. Okay. So see you guys in a week then. Short little stay next Thursday because that's right. I forgot hockey does a Christmas break. Wednesdays. Yeah, I might do a Wednesday show, but probably not. Keep posted. Follow me. Follow at Nuke the House. I'll definitely do a show on Thursday, maybe one on Wednesday, but no hockey 24th through the 26th. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great day. Let's cash some bets.